That was a fun weekend. You have a fun weekend?
I did. I had a really good weekend. I did
Me too.
overdo it. I worked hard and I played hard this weekend,
You
and
probably got all dehydrated working in the yard.
I worked out in the yard all day, uh, all day on Friday as long as I could, and then on Saturday as long as I could, and then on Sunday as long as I could. And I was like, man, haven't been using a lot of these muscles in a while. Yard work muscles. I know the pain is in the mail. It's like you just know it's coming, and it is starting to hit me today.
The yard work muscles. I didn't exercise any of those. But Saturday, I always like to see people out having fun, even people I don't know. We were at
Yeah.
Kelly's Little Nipper for breakfast, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
we're over
good
there. It's good.
place.
It's a good breakfast. It's a good breakfast. So we're there, and just this big crowd walks in, and they're all dressed up for the Derby. There's probably 20 of them. The women have the hats on, and the men
Is that
are
where they were
dressed
going
up
to
in some
take in the
crazy
Derby,
outfit.
or they were
No,
starting
no,
their day and going to Prairie Meadows?
they
or
were
something?
doing like a bus hop to a bunch of different places. They had come from Ames, I believe, and they're going to end up at Prairie Meadows.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then later we had to return some stuff at Kohl's, which means Kohl's actually pays us to bring the stuff back. So we actually make money. We go to Kohl's, and then we stopped at Cooney's on the way back for a pint. And there was a group in there. They were on a Goodwill tour. So it was a big group, and they were all dressed in clothes they had bought at the Goodwill. And then their entire day was like doing goodwill for people, which in our case turned out to be they bought our beer. It was 2 pints of Guinness, but I hadn't heard that
Interesting
before.
charity. Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. There's this one guy, he's probably your height, maybe a little taller. He's like 6'4", well built, and he's in an Urbandale basketball jersey. And I mean, it's TJ Otzelberger would say that
That's too
thing's
tight. Yeah.
and I was like, wow, that's you got that at the Goodwill? It was a girl's jersey from the old Urbandale High School, but man, he sausage cased himself right into it, and they looked like they were having fun. I've never seen the Goodwill tour before, but I thought that was fun too.
Any excuse to bar hop.
Yeah, yeah. And if you find the right thing at a Goodwill store, like you find like the Urbandale basketball jersey, you could go to a vintage store and it might be $50 or $60.
Yeah.
At the Goodwill,
Yeah.
it's probably $3.
It all depends on the eye of the person running the store and doing the buying.
Yes, it does. All right, we have some fun ahead. Let's get to it on a Monday.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Grammy-nominated country artist Tyler Childers presents Snipe Hunt, performing at KC Center July 15th with special guest Wednesday. Get tickets now at highvtix.com.
Nostalgia THC fruit seltzers in quirky flavors like orange dreamsicle, caramel apple, and grape soda. Refreshing taste, cosmic vibes for your mind. Pick your groove.
That caramel apple is tasty.
Murph and Andy, talking sports and more, exclusively on Iowa Everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios, here are Keith Murphy and Andy Sales.
Sports and more coming up on Murph and Andy today with the help of Andrew Downs, table setter from Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines, featuring nightly specials and now open Mondays. That's today. Coming up, Derby, furious finish. 76ers humble the Celtics, and two truths, one lie, backed by popular demand. We'll be at Guest House. Where are we this Friday? Are we at Guest House this Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Guest
I
House
believe so,
Tavern this
yep.
Friday. Yeah, West.
Guest
Des Moines.
House Tavern.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
we're there Friday
will.
live at 1 p.m. for the Murph and Andy Cheers for Beers Tour 2026, Iowa Everywhere. These shirts, I have been asked at least a half dozen times on Facebook if these are going to be for sale. I believe they are, right, AD?
Oh yeah, yep. And we should have them at Guest House Friday and up on the website as well.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, these are fun. It says Iowa Everywhere on the front, and I just appreciate the hair in this photo.
Yeah, it's a
so
Tears
nice.
for Fears album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice to have that hair back. So it's no rain, 68 degrees is what Mr. Ed says for Friday around the time we're doing the show. So that's great news. It was rain, a little bit of rain, spitting rain, and a little bit cool for stop one at Big Grove, but we still had fun.
We are over at Big Grove Brewery on Ingersoll. It's become one of our favorite places that really kind of blew up on the scene. This is a place that really gets into community advocacy.
I just think it's really cool. Like, I think that we do a good job of being a part of our community, an active member.
Yeah, this place has everything. You kind of nailed it with the patio that can be used in just about any kind of weather. Great monitors for watching sports. The food is good. People come here for the beer and various drinks. I think it's become a staple for people when they have out-of-town visitors. Like, they know they can come here and there's something for everyone.
I can't hear anybody applauding. Hold on. Where's the applause, everybody?
You're gonna be
see?
You're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be waiting all day.
We got an okay over here.
Do you remember when Sipker kind of had like a mild stroke during the show? Remember he couldn't finish a word?
Yeah, I couldn't forget. Yeah, yes. What word
What?
was
Do you
that?
remember that, AD? What
Yeah,
was that?
he was trying to say SEC schools, and he just kind of got stuck in the SEC.
Kept going. He
Like,
couldn't
he
get out of
glitched.
it.
Yeah, he glitched.
Yeah, he glitched. It reminds me of, I'm sure this has happened to you, Andy. At least I would guess that it has. If you're anchoring and you trip on a word and you go back and try again, oftentimes that doesn't work out. You kind of get stuck on that word and you just have to move on.
Yeah, and you can kind of spot words. Maybe it's not the word necessarily. It's just kind of what other words are around it, and you can spot it coming. Right. You're like, all right, I need to skip that one. I need to change that word to something else because I'm going to trip. I'm going to stumble over that one.
I need a synonym.
Yeah, it happens to everybody.
But we had a nice time. We know weather wasn't ideal. In fact, in some of that video, you could see somebody pulling on a sweatshirt.
Yeah, it was still a little chilly. Yep.
Yeah, in the gear store, they were selling some Big Grove merch. They were selling some sweatshirts there because it was a little bit on the cool side, but good first stop. And we will be at Guest House Tavern and Oyster coming up for what should be a nicer day this Friday. Right now, let's catch the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Logier Heating and Cooling, providing solutions to Des Moines area families for 120 years. So probably not going out of business. In fact, thriving.
No, I imagine they're busy now
years.
tuning up everybody's AC units.
How many? I'd be interested to know, like how many businesses are going after more than 100 years in the area?
Well,
Can't be many.
Yeah, I
More
mean,
than
it's got to be something that has a product that it hasn't changed drastically, or they've
Can't be a
changed with the
beeper
times.
store. Yeah, can't be a VHS store.
Yeah, I mean, we did that story with Travis Audiovisual. I mean, they stayed in business a really, really long time, but I mean, they stayed in business longer than they probably should have because their product just changed so much and people's habits changed so much that just there wasn't any need for that service. They started off doing most of their business repairing televisions. So yeah, I mean, it's got to be something that, has some sort of product or service that is still in demand, which heating and cooling would be. And then you got to be good at it.
WHO 13 is like, what, 75 years or so?
Mm-hmm. It's changed drastically too.
Sure has, still changing. So yeah, 120 years is a long time. All right, let's get to the buzz. 20 million people watched an electrifying Kentucky Derby Saturday. Golden Tempo hit the final turn in dead last and made a charge for the ages.
As they make their way to the top of the stretch, Further Ado is getting going on the far outside with Commandment. They're both putting in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. O'Sally is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Denon Bourbon in front. O'Sally a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo are closing too. Here's Golden Tempo! Golden Tempo and Cherie DeVaux make history in the Kentucky Derby over Renegade in a final time of 2:02.27 seconds.
God, great call and a great race. That was, it's one of those things you had to keep going back and watching because you can't believe, especially with the overhead camera, that horse came from that far back that fast. And Jose Ortiz, it was like he had a steering wheel on the horse.
Yeah, so many different things about this Derby make it stand out. I mean, first of all, you can't even overestimate what that drone camera shot has done to the Derby. Is this the second year in a row or the second time in the last 3 years that a horse has come all the way from the very back to win?
I remember it wasn't last year, it wasn't Sovereignty last year, but at least in the past few years, there was a horse that that horse steered through traffic. Yeah,
right.
Through traffic.
It was much like this one. I mean, as you're watching this one, you're like, oh, I remember the other one that did
Look
that.
where he is in this photo.
Yeah, and
the red helmet is Golden Tempo.
Yeah, where you're literally straight overhead. There's the drone is right over the horse, so you can watch the path the whole way, and you can only imagine, how interesting it would have been to watch, so many of the past races long before that technology was available. That just makes it a little bit more interesting, though, to see, the strategy and all that went into winning that. But then also you just had, it's funny because this was not one of the favorites. It was not a horse that got, more attention than all the other ones going up. You didn't know anything about this horse for the most part. Most people didn't.
Just that it had a female trainer. That was kind of the main story angle because a woman trainer had never won the Derby in 152 years.
Right. You had women owners. Yeah. But so you had that element, which was just kind of there. But it was not a horse that people knew to watch for.
Right.
Probably. And, it's such a long race and such a big field that most people are not watching this horse until it starts making that mad dash at the very end. So when you go back and you watch the whole race, it just makes it even more amazing. And then you get not only the fact that she's the first female trainer to win, but they put that ISO camera on her as she's watching this race. Of course, she's watching her horse and nothing but her horse.
Yeah, you can see her as she starts to just.
Great.
It's incredible.
It's so fun. I mean, because she's just.
Look at
the rest of the crowd are watching the leader. She's watching only her horse, and she's like, "Oh my God, this horse is doing it."
It's like watching only your kid in a little league game or something. Your focus is on your what you want to win or to do well, and oh my goodness,
you see her like go down to one knee. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, "Oh my God, she must have passed out," and I think she almost did.
Probably didn't breathe down that final stretch. I mean, I was barely breathing. It was electric. And Golden Tempo, we remind you from all of us who at some point, even if it's just in PE class, you ran track, and you learn pretty quickly that if you swing wide, you have to cover a much greater distance. And that horse is going way outside and around, so running farther than any other horse in the race too. And still gets there to Renegade, who just got a bad draw. I mean, Renegade's looks like maybe the strongest actual overall horse in this field, but he's on the rail, and gets banged around at the start and ends up losing by a neck. But that was a great race.
Yeah, and in the two races that I went and covered at the Derby, there were so many interesting things, and I learned so much. But one of the the most memorable takeaways that I have is just listening to Jerry Crawford talk to me about just what you were saying, you know, the difference in distances run by horses depending on which gate they're starting in.
Yeah, if they get that auxiliary gate, it's almost impossible.
If they're way out, yeah, I mean, they're running like another 16th of a mile or something. If they pull all the way down, well, I mean, if they, regardless of whether they kind of stay in their own lane or whether they move down toward the rail, I mean, they're running a lot farther than the other horses.
Right. It's not like track and field where you stagger the lanes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They all start straight flush. So you learn that, and just how much more difficult that is on the horse. But then also, you know, when you're coming from that far wide, I mean, you're just going to potentially run into contact with far more horses, right? I mean, there's a ton of traffic in your way. And then every time the horse has to go around another horse, that adds an extra distance. I mean, but this horse, it seems like, you know, the Derby's a mile and a quarter. I mean, it's like this horse ran a Belmont or more, you know, just in the in the track that it ran. So when you have all those kind of extra elements added in, you're like, oh, well, this is why the Kentucky Derby is pretty consistently one of the great sports stories of the year, is that there's so much more to it than just a 2-minute race. I mean, this was not the fastest. It wasn't close to the fastest race ever
3
run.
seconds off Secretariat's record.
Right. You know, this wasn't a favorite that everybody was talking about. It didn't have some gigantic, you know, famous pedigree. It just ran a really incredible race on a day that wasn't ruined by rain, which, you know, that sometimes happens, and that really stinks. But, you know, I was supposed to go out. We were going to a birthday party, and everybody was kind of waiting on us. And I was like, I have to see because we had watched all this buildup. Well, I got to see the Derby here. I don't want to go watch it at a bar. I want to watch it here.
And it got a late start because Great White bucked off the rider, the jockey.
Well, that was the story heading into the starting bell, right? Is that was the story of the race, and that was kind of crazy that happened.
Yeah, it was.
But you know, it was quickly eclipsed just by that crazy fun race.
AD
Tempo ran.
I think probably the finest moment Andy and I have ever had as professionals when we went a perfect 10 for 10 on Weed Strain or Derby horse.
Yeah, he kind of killed my game.
Were any of these horses? I don't remember. Like, because I saw like
Chief
So
Wallaby
Happy.
Chief Wallaby was one of them. I think, yeah, So Happy might have been one of them. There were, I think, 2 or 3 of the horses were in this field. It was not Golden Tempo.
But Golden Tempo that'd be, now you can't do it, but back then I would have been Golden Tempo. Okay. That's
the other thing about the Derby that I notice just about every year is Churchill Downs has, if you look back at pictures, even from the 80s, it has gotten so much bigger. I mean, there are stands on top of stands, grandstands. Like the original grandstand gets lost at Churchill Downs now. Those spires, I mean, they're like shoved in there in the tiny little thing in the middle. I mean, everything else is all bit. You're like, where's the original part of this thing? And you're like, oh, it's right there in the middle. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's absolutely packed, and everybody's standing. So it's like that venue could not look more full. And then just when you're like, okay, that's the fullest it's ever been, well, then they add another, 2,000 seats, and it's even fuller. It's even bigger. And it just keeps getting bigger. And I have never been in any sort of crowd situation, even similar to the one around Churchill Downs for the Derby.
Really?
No.
As far as being packed in like at a crowded concert when you're in the mosh pit or something?
It's the only thing that would be close would be Daytona, but not everybody leaves at Daytona. There's like the infield, everybody is in a camper, and not everybody, but thousands of people stay overnight there.
And that's
but at Churchill Downs,
area.
Yeah, it's far bigger. That's a gigantic track. It's far bigger. But at Churchill Downs, everybody leaves. And so it's like, it looks like a literal sea of people. And they're all in seersucker. I mean, dresses, hats, they're all like dressed up as much as possible. And they're walking through this just pit of trash all the way through.
I know they all look great on NBC. NBC does a good job covering the Derby. But if you're there like you were, I've never been. Is there like a whole nother group of people that doesn't get shown on the broadcast that maybe is not wearing seersucker?
Yeah, I mean, on the infield, it's kind of more the party central. But what I was noticing when I was there, and I would think it's only more this way now, because that would have been 2014, I think was the last time I was there. What I was noticing is that it just seems like that's kind of the fun of it, right? Part of the fun of going to the Derby, whether you're in Louisville or whether you're here.
Or at Kelly's Little Nipper.
Yeah, dressing up for it. I mean, that's kind of fun. It's like Oktoberfest, you know, the dressing up, the costume part is half the fun. So even in the infield, a lot of people were very dressed up, but in the stands, I mean, people were dressed to the nines, and it just made the whole thing so surreal, because you'll see these people who are really dressed up, and some of these people probably have $10,000 in clothes on. And they are just shit-faced drunk. I mean, blasted. I mean, hammered drunk. Walking and like tripping in $500 wingtips. With like a puke stain down their pink seersucker blazer.
Oh, and if it rains, it's so much worse.
Oh God, yeah.
Then it's muddy everywhere.
Yeah, one of the years I was there, it did rain. It was sad. And then like the previous day is Kentucky Oaks Day, and the women get way into the hats that day, of these custom hats and everything. So it's really like an entire weekend of very Natalie clad drunkenness.
You know, Michael Admire had a Derby horse named after him, right? Admire?
I don't remember. That's a good name. Is it just called Admire? Or was it Michael Admire?
No, it is Admire. I think that group liked him so much. I don't remember. Well, I guess you can't name a horse fails. So maybe
that was never suggested.
Yeah, remember when we had the Gusto Pizza contest, and the name of Michael's pizza was Admire My Sausage? It's a true story.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
All right, now the big question. Will Golden Tempo run the Preakness? We do not have an answer yet. It's considered 50-50. Sovereignty last year won the Kentucky Derby and did not run the Preakness. If you're new to all this, it's just many of the trainers feel like it's too hard on the horse, and there's so much money at stake. For instance, in the Kentucky Derby, 17 of the 18 horses were descendants of Secretariat, all but one horse. Secretariat had a good second career. So they're not going to take a chance. So they're going to, right now, Golden Tempo's resting. Then they do they check him out. They make sure they feel like he's completely in good shape to run the Preakness. If he doesn't run the Preakness, interest falls off the table. Oh, yeah. The potential audience goes from like 18 to 20 million down to like 5 to 6 million. That's how much you need the Derby horse in the Preakness. So I sure hope he runs, but we'll see. Everybody used to run, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, and that's why I'm in favor of changing,
adding a week,
the adding a week, just because, for the sake of preserving the Preakness, and there are good arguments to be made in the name of animal husbandry, and I don't know that there's ever any way that you could require the Derby winner to run in the Preakness. I mean, you just couldn't do it. I mean, if there was something legitimately concerning about the animal's health, I mean, in good conscience, you couldn't force the horse to run again. But at the same time, I mean, it should be something that everybody wants to do, and it just for the sake of a competitiveness and the good of the sport. I mean, you shouldn't just be in horse racing because you like horses. You should be in it because you like horse racing and like the sport of horse racing, and you're there kind of, you're going to ride or die with horse racing. But I don't know. Again, right. I mean, it used to seem inconceivable that would ever happen, but lately it's become way too common.
They've put the financial incentives in. There's a huge cash prize if you win the Triple Crown, but it pales in comparison to the long-term stud fees. So if they don't feel like the horse is completely ready, they're not going to take that chance. But I sure hope Golden Tempo makes a run. Like I just expect right now, even though to me it did look like Renegade was the strongest horse, but got the rail. I just assume he'll skip the Preakness and then come back for the Belmont because he can't win the Triple Crown at this point, but we'll see. Jenny and I each put $5 into a hat and did a random draw. I got Commandment. She got Emerging Market. And that leads us to a quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas at Ames and Urbandale, because as we mentioned on the show Friday, Warren Buffett, who knows a thing or two about money, says, what was his exact quote? Sports gambling is a tax on stupidity.
Which more represents your view on sports gambling? A tax on stupidity, or wager wisely?
Wager wisely for me. I think if you bet responsibly and it's fun and it enhances your experience and you don't bet money you don't have, and you don't make the mistake of thinking you're going to make money or this is going to be a side hustle and you're going to grind out a vacation with it. I mean, wager wisely. You're going to lose in the long term, but I think it can be fun, just like anything, like riding a motorcycle or going hunting or anything, or drinking. Anything else, you have to be an adult, be responsible with it, realize that it does get away from some people, and some people are going to need help, and not without empathy for that niche of people. But I think overall I'm wager wisely.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to be boring here because I'm going to play on both sides of this here. But I'm not a gambler, although I will say when I went to the Kentucky Derby, I did gamble and it was fun. If I go to the track, go to Prairie Meadows or something, of course you want to bet on horses. It's just not something that I do regularly. But at the same time, I can completely understand why the rest of you guys love it, and it makes it more interesting and more fun. It makes you a better sports fan in many ways. And, I'm all for it. It's all good. It's just not something I really participate in, but I don't have any problem. Now, there are some people who clearly should not gamble. Right.
And it is a problem on college campuses with young men. I'm not saying it's just men. There are, of course, young women who bet too on college campuses. But I have been around it, and I mean, young men are on their apps betting on at-bats and spring training games. I mean, it's, $5 here. They're trying to hit the parlay. Occasionally they hit a parlay, and it pays big, and then that feeds the beast, and they want to keep it going. And I can see where it can get away from a Brendan Sorsby or anybody else. But, I rarely gamble, but it can be fun.
Yeah, this guy makes a good point. I've never tried sports gambling apps because I'm scared I'll love it. Yeah, I mean, it's
you probably will.
Yeah, me and cocaine.
And it's why they give you the free. It's why they give you the enticement of, join now, $100. We'll put it in your account. They know you're going to blow through that eventually.
Probably going to like it too if you try.
Yeah. AD?
Wait for me, yeah, but I do think it's gotten a little too easy, like to just sign up on an app and load money from your bank account right there. And then, like you said, to have the markets where you can bet on like crazy things that just, it seems like it's a little too predatory at times, but I do it from time to time. I really don't though, between like, I bet some college football and some college basketball. And then like, I have to re-download the app at the end of August, cause it's like, I haven't opened this thing in 5 months.
And that's good, I think. Yeah. anybody needs to take a break once in a while, unless you're a professional gambler. High or low since our last show?
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Yeah, Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. You will find them up in Ankeny. Tim Hawkins is the guy who runs the company there, and he told me this morning, with April 15th behind us, it's a great time to do some tax planning to make sure that you are getting all the tax benefits that you are entitled to. Feel like you really got screwed this year and you want to stick it back to the man next year? Call Tim. He'll help you do that. I mean, plays within the lines and stuff. But make sure that you can keep as much of your money as possible. I had, a great weekend. I actually made 2 trips to Big Grove this weekend. Friday, we were there for the patio tour. And then Saturday night, we all went back for my friend Matt's 50th birthday. And here he is here with all the women holding him up. And he is a lot of fun. And he was...
he looks like he's having fun there.
Yeah, he and his wife, Laura, they met at the University of Iowa, where he was a bartender at the Dublin. Is that the right one, Andrew?
Yeah.
The Dublin.
Yeah.
So he was a bartender, and he married somebody on his staff, his wife, Laura, who was on the right, on the far right. But he
fell in love at the bar.
Fell in love at the bar. That's right. So
Dublin.
I think they had like wedding pictures taken at the Dublin, and all these people showed up from Iowa City that they're still good friends with. And it was just a lot of fun. We went there to Big Grove, and then we walked over to Carl's.
Oh man.
I haven't been to Carl's place in quite a while, and I'd forgotten what a Des Moines institution that is. And it's,
oh yeah. You might see a state senator. You might see someone who lives out back.
Yeah, I walked in, I saw our friend Gina Gettler was there, and my friend Brian Moon, the ultimate Drake fan. He was wearing a seersucker suit, still from watching the Derby.
I'm sure it was blue.
Bunch of other people. I think we saw some of Kahala's cousins, which, you go to the right part of town, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of her cousins. She's got like 75 of them. But it was a real fun crowd, and it's always kind of funny to bring fish out of water, bring a fish to an out of water place.
Like Carl's.
Our friend Kylie Malik is with me, and she's like, well, I want to, will you get me a drink if you go to the bar? The bartenders there did a really good job of managing a big crowd. And she's kind of standing right next to me as I'm ordering. And she said, I want a vodka soda with lime. I was like, vodka soda with lime. And she goes, oh, we ask him if he's got Grey Goose. And the bartender just shot me this look like,
don't ask about the Grey Goose.
Did you know where you are? You ask for a Grey Goose at Carl's, you may actually get a goose.
Yeah, they might go out back and grab a Grey Goose.
He's like, we have vodka, and if you don't want the vodka we've got, we have gin.
And that's not the same as vodka.
Yeah, it was like Hawkeye vodka. Anyway, it was fun. We had a really good time, though. It was a lot of fun. But man, 2 nights in a row, or 2 days in a row. Not that I hit it all that hard on Friday, but I mean, man, it's tough. Jeez.
I'm going high. I really got into the 76ers and Celtics game after the Derby. And gosh, my late father, this would have been tough for him, but I couldn't help but root for the 76ers because of our friend Nick Nurse. Just
wearing
such
the
a good
throwbacks
dude.
too that we were talking about. Yeah, they got the filla.
Yeah, they wore the filla. And Nick's out there coaching, the ultimate career coaching grinder out of Carroll Kemper High School and UNI, and just such a good guy. And the Celtics had been 32-0. Went up 3-1 in a series, and the 76ers had been 0-18, went down 3-1 in a series, and they came all the way back. And the Celtics had this weird approach to this game. I know they had Jason Tatum, arguably their best player, did not play, so that's a huge deficit. But they start 3 guys who never score, including Luka Garza. That had never happened in a playoff game before. 3 starters did not score. I was so happy to see Luke out there starting because it's such a great story to see him go from where he came from to starting. And then he just did not have a good game, unfortunately. But the 76ers win the game. And afterwards, and I know there's, hundreds of these, I send a text to Nick just congratulating him on the comeback and all this. And it's, I don't know, it's like 10:30 where I am. It's probably 11:30 on the East Coast. And pretty quickly he answers me, which is not surprising. He's that kind of guy. But later, I'm in bed reading. It's like after midnight, so it's after 1 on the East Coast, and a text comes in, and I see it's Nick Nurse, and I was like, "Wow, they just won Game 7 tonight. Wonder what Nick could possibly have to say to me." And he said, "You think you could get me one of those floppy shirts?" So I said,
What's even making him think about that at that point?
Don't know. But now I have to get him a floppy shirt. So
that's why you were asking Andrew about that this morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
AD, we've got to figure out how to get this done.
He didn't ask Andrew to do anything.
I don't know where to get a floppy shirt in 2026.
This is there's.
You know what? I'll go down to the
somebody's
basement at the
selling
station. Maybe there's an old one on a hanger or something down there at WHO 13. I see the family is not selling them anymore. Dwayne and his family sold them for a long time.
Ask Boz or ask Mike Draper. One of those guys. Somebody will know.
What do you get a guy who's got everything? A floppy shirt.
It's funny too, man. That show had such a lasting imprint on kids that grew up in that era in Des Moines or in Central Iowa. I mean, they never forgot it. And the rest of us who, didn't grow up here, and we watched Floppy, and we're like, this is the show you like so much, because it didn't matter what the production value was. It was right. It was Dwayne Elliott just had this connection with the children in the audience.
Right. And you had so few entertainment options then. It was, there was Betty's Magic Window. There was Floppy on WHO 13. And they had a live studio audience. Like Jenny still recalls when she was in the studio audience, and some of the jokes people had to tell, like the car in the oven is a hot rod, stuff like that. And one of the tough things for me is that so frequently, I don't mean daily, but a few times a year, somebody will ask me, "Hey, is there any way you could find out, my mom, brother, sister, cousin recently passed, and they were on the Floppy show," and they'll have like a month and a year involved. And before they get too far into the details, if you're going back and forth, you just try to stop them and say, like,
I cannot go back into the tape archives.
We don't have it. I mean, we don't have it. We don't have it. Same with Let's Go Bowling. I get asked for that all the time. Hey, my dad recently passed, and he was on Let's Go Bowling back in 1976. Is there any way? And of course you would love to. I know what it would mean to me if you could find some video like that, but none of that stuff is saved or archived in any way that you can just go grab an episode. I think there might be a little bit of film here and there, but not shows. We don't have entire shows.
I remember doing a story down at the Historical Museum with Leo Landis down there, who's kind of the state historian for Iowa. And they had Floppy, the original puppet,
yeah.
With this whole, nice display with Dwayne Elliott. And as I recall, they were renovating the display. So they had to move it. They put it away for a little while, put Floppy away. And you would have thought, it was like people were pissed, and they smelled a rat. So there was something evil at play here. They had stolen Floppy. They were hiding him forever. And they were taking Floppy away, or he'd been damaged, or he was just gone. And they didn't tell. They were sneaking around. They weren't telling anybody about it. People were really upset. And I had a hard time taking the story seriously because it was so stupid. It was just so clear what was going on. It's a historical museum. They want people to
This
come
is
in.
not a hostage situation.
No, they were like holding
not a
Floppy
kidnapping.
hostage. Yeah, there was a
Puppet
kidnapping.
napping.
But they, they were explaining, they're like, look, Floppy, here he is, downstairs here. We got like footage of him. He's fine. He's going to be fine. He's coming back. We have to renovate that display. It was old and dusty and falling apart. It looked awful.
You
We
showed
couldn't clean
proof
it.
of life of
Yeah.
video of Floppy. Here's proof of life video.
And I
Here's
remember
Floppy.
we got done with it, and I remember like it was yesterday. Somebody writes in, and they were like, "I still don't believe it. It wasn't good enough for the person."
We'll look for
Oh, I'm so
Floppy. In the
concerned
meantime,
about
Andy, get ready. We're going to hit the wheel of randomness.
I think we already did.
Yeah, floppy.
Yeah,
floppy is the word.
Yeah.
Let's hit it again.
The word is floppy. I'll be shorter.
My random word generator, beard.
Beard.
Oh man.
Yeah,
We were
I've had a
talking
beard a
about
couple
beards.
of times.
You did? Like, what's the biggest beard you've ever had?
Well, in high school, I had one for a little bit, and I could grow one, and a lot of people couldn't. But it wasn't a good beard. It looked a little bit too much like Lincoln's in
Just your
retrospect.
mustache wanted company at that point.
Yeah, it was a little too thin in spots. I've been on television for 40 years, so
Yeah.
I've never had a beard in that time except for like a week-long vacation type beard. So I did grow one in college, but then I got a TV job while I was still in college, so I had to knock that down. I think any place I ever worked, they would tell you, well, we've done, consultants tell us that people just don't trust as much and have as favorable impression of men with facial hair. Mustache is a little bit better than beards, but both are a no. You're like, okay.
It is funny the way that facial hair came back. Because when I was in high school and college, absolutely nobody had beards or mustaches. Nobody did, and you would make fun of people that did. And then the goatee kind of got it started.
Yeah.
Not just the mustache, but it was like the goatee, and nothing on the side, just the goatee. And that was kind of like this badass sign. It was back when like guys would have like the soul patch or something.
Little soul patch, right?
Yeah, and the goatee, and then it spread to the full beard. I've never had a full beard. The longest I think I've ever gone is about 10 days, maybe, again, because I was on TV, but I like a vacation where I was fishing or camping or something. I just let it go. And I just can never understand, Andrew, how you or the rest of your people can stand that itchy stage of a beard.
Yeah.
How can you get through that? It's awful.
It was, and I mean, it's been 10 years or so probably since I've shaved. So, but I do remember there was a good like 6 weeks where it was just like constant itching. You're putting like lotion in your beard, trying to get that skin underneath to not be so itchy. But then it passes and you roll on.
And
you got a little gray coming in there now.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, a lot.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
There are a few beards that I can't figure out. I mean, first of all, there's like the muscle dude, like that Liver King guy, that guy's on all the steroids and everything.
Yeah.
Where he's totally ripped and cut, and you can tell that he shaves the rest of his body, shaves his chest and his legs and his arms and his back, and then has this giant, nasty nest beard. And he's all sweaty and everything. And yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a disgusting beard. That's awful. And how
spend all this time and money and risk on your muscles, and it's hard to look away from the beard.
The beard,
'cause it's just distractingly bad.
It's terrible. So there's
his
that
beard is not good.
Yeah, the guys that are like in the gym and stuff, and they're just totally ripped, and they have this huge beard. And then the one I pointed this out last night on the news, the cyclists. Okay, they've got skin tight clothing on, skin tight pants. Like they're so tight they like split their nuts apart.
Right.
They're so tight, tight shoes, tight little socks, again, shave their legs, shave their arms, and then they have this giant, just wind-grabbing, wind-trapping beard on them. I'm like, what? Go one or the other, man. Like you're either really concerned about aerodynamics or you don't care. One or the other.
It'd be like Michael Phelps or a swimmer just shaving everything on their body, wearing the thinnest possible suit, and then just having a ZZ Top beard.
Or just a really long ponytail that just hangs out back. I don't get that.
All right, quickly before we move on to more and two truths and a lie, the Big Ten media distribution is out. Wanted to mention this because it's so staggering. It's 55% increase. It's just under $1.4 billion. So that is at least $76 million per school, including Iowa. And fans, I say this from the heart, you should not have to pay for anything extra. If you can't take the $76 million and take care of what you need to take care of, you have a spending problem.
Amen. Problem is that means the schools are paying the kids, right?
Well, they have an amount they can pay them now, and then they can pay them even more in NIL, and then even more under the table. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It means they have to be employees.
This is the first time too that this is the first time the schools that made the college football playoff got a bigger piece of the pie. So if you're Indiana or Ohio State, who else from the Big Ten was in, you got even more money. Mm-hmm. So this is the Big 12 and ACC's concern, especially in football. And this is even more than people were expecting. This is so much money. And the Big Ten has dominated these past few years, has surpassed the SEC, and this is not a coincidence.
And it has, it has huge population markets, and it's added more. And now that all seems very smart because, these big population areas now are kind of included in the Big Ten. It does make you wonder. Do you wonder if Texas wishes it had gone to the Big Ten? It could have gone anywhere it wanted to. Or if Texas, the SEC is obviously still the SEC. It's still a great conference. But
yeah, Texas is not hurting.
Seems like Texas could have held out as a free agent and just said, all right, who's going to pay us? Who's going to promise us more? If they'd
Texas and Ohio State have the most money, or normally do. I don't know how much this will change things.
Michigan's got to be coming on strong.
Right there. Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. It's where you'll always find a draft beer that you'll love. Such a wide selection. And we're headed there in June with the patio tour. What's the date on that?
6/26. I think we're at Confluence. Yeah, it should be nice and warm when we are there. Yeah, we got a good patio tour. We're hitting a lot of different places.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have my hair grown out like this by then. I had hair not too far from this.
No, I know you did.
It was long and thick, and I had a perm at one time. So
that. If you had the mustache in this picture, you would be John Oates.
John Oates. All right, Andy brings us more next on a Murph and Andy Monday.
For years now, you've heard us talk about Lac Seul Evergreen Lodge, the incredible Canadian fishing lake a day's drive from central Iowa. Well, let 2026 be the year you plan your ultimate fishing adventure in the Canadian wilderness on the incomparable Walleye Factory, Lac Seul. Morning with the sun rising over the Western Ontario scenery. Days on the water with your close friends or family. Evenings in the furnished cabins enjoying walleyes fresh from the lake. They add up to a lifetime of memories. There are still late summer and early fall spots available, and you'll find more information at LacSeulWalleye.com.
Clay Walker, live in concert.
If I can make a living out of loving you, with very special guest Black Hawk.
Goodbye says it all.
August 27th at Lordson Amphitheater. Clay Walker.
You won't be lonely long.
Live with Black Hawk.
Every once in a while.
Get tickets now through Ticketmaster.
I just want to live until I die.
A part of the Willis Summer Series.
The Murph and Andy Show is brought to you in part by Ramsey Subaru, home of the toughest, most reliable cars in the world and the people who back them up, on Hickman Road in Urbandale.
But wait, there's more. From Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Either Or Eatery and Patio is open today. They're open on Mondays, and they got happy hour as well. Starts at 2 o'clock each day, runs until 6. Half-price drinks, half-price appetizers. Beautiful patio there at 6222 Grand Avenue. Today is National Orange Juice Day. Orange juice. So while California leads the nation in orange production, most of our orange juice still comes from Florida. However, are you aware of what's happened to the orange industry in Florida, Murph?
No,
It is
I'm not.
a shell
What's
of its
going on?
former self. Well, disease and hurricanes have decimated Florida's orange groves. Production has fallen 93% in just the last 20 years. So in 2005, the state produced 242 million boxes of oranges. Last year, it produced 16 million boxes. Most oranges are still used to make juice, as opposed to the fresh oranges that mostly come out of California, but it has fallen way off. California now far and away the leader in orange production. It is the orange state. Florida's not. Texas, a distant third.
Okay.
A former Chick-fil-A worker in Texas is accused of pocketing more than $80,000 by ringing up 800 fraudulent orders of mac and cheese and refunding them to his personal credit cards. Keishan Jones is 23. He allegedly pocketed more than $80,000 in the scheme back in November, and it was all caught on surveillance video.
It doesn't seem well thought out.
No, I mean,
the mac and cheese is popular, so this would be something to think, well, you sell a lot of this. Who's going to notice?
there's absolutely a camera on the register.
Yeah.
At anything. I mean, I bet Kelly's Little Nipper has a camera on the register.
Yeah, I mean, at Chick-fil-A,
maybe not Carl's, but
you know, they would like it to be the honor system and trust everybody. They certainly, it's their pleasure to serve us, but they're not taking chances.
Yeah.
They're still going to have some cameras.
Keishan Jones is the reason it's not. Police in Grapevine, Texas say he evaded arrest multiple times before finally being apprehended on April 17th with assistance from the Texas AG's office. He'd been charged with property theft, money laundering, and evading arrest. He is still in jail, all because of the mac and cheese. McDonald's is phasing out its self-serve soda fountains.
Really?
Yep. All across the country. It's
I'm
a gradual
surprised.
change. Going to have to stop doing that, which is kind of a bum. Kind of like this.
They've got the best soda. We
They got the best
hit
Coke,
that
yeah.
drive-through all the time for Diet Cokes, and I don't even like Diet Cokes.
Yeah, the high C there is always the orange is really good. You can fill up on that. So a couple of
the syrup, just better than anyone else.
Yeah, I think there's more sugar, and that's probably why it's better. It's
probably not even
always
Diet
why
Coke.
it's better. There's either more sugar or there's more fat or more salt to make everything taste better. The change will come as each store gets a renovation. First of all, I don't like the way that the McDonald's has been renovated in the first place, where it's like you go up and you order on the pad. You don't see any real workers there. It's a real small place. We're into the carry out industry has just kind of overshadowed the rest of the restaurant industry, it seems like.
Do they still ask for a tip after having you do that?
I haven't seen McDonald's do that. Have you seen a McDonald's do that?
I don't
I've seen
think
other
so.
places do that.
It's been a long time since I went into a McDonald's. I'm a drive-through guy.
Yeah, I like to go in when I can, but it's different. I don't go there very much anyway.
I'd
but,
smash a fillet of fish right now.
Oh God, I love.
Yeah, even now when you go in, you don't talk to anybody. You just order at a kiosk and wait
somebody
for your
hands you a
food.
bag. Right,
Yeah.
that's it. The move aims to reduce labor and maintenance costs while adapting to new customer trends that prioritize takeout and delivery over eating in the restaurant. Yeah, man, the McDonald's restaurant. That used to be the place, man. It was a
that
big old dining.
Playland, just that big petri dish of germs and
swivel
spit
seats.
and, the swivel seats.
Plastic ashtrays on the table.
People diving into the ball pit. like
Newspapers,
maniacs.
big stack of newspapers up there. The sports section was always missing. Was always
Smoking
gone.
section.
Want the sports section? You got to go into the bathroom and find it. Residents of Yerevan, Armenia, had quite the May Day morning when reports spread that a zebra had escaped from the city zoo and was roaming one of the capital's busiest streets. You take a close look at this zebra and see something's wrong. Ended up not being a zebra at all. This was a donkey that someone had painted. If it's a zebra, it's probably running around like the wild animal it would be. This donkey is just chilling. The guy's like ordering the donkey. Somebody painted it. Took a bath, and then it's a white donkey all over again, and everybody's bummed.
Including the donkey. He doesn't look like he's enjoying this.
No. Painting wild animals. There you go. The best news I got this weekend is that I would have to travel all the way to Connecticut to get this sandwich.
This Connecticut diner packs a hollowed-out loaf of bread with fried mozzarella, creamy fettuccine alfredo, vodka chicken cutlet with no vodka sauce left behind, another fried mozzarella, of course more vodka sauce. Then they top it all with melted mozzarella cheese. They hit it with more creamy alfredo sauce, more vodka sauce, parmesan, and parsley. This is the Alfredo sauce, vodka sauce, chicken parm stuffed volcano sandwich from Elm Street Diner in Norwalk, Connecticut, and it needs to be on your devour list. Who's hungry?
Oh my God.
How do you call that a sandwich?
I would definitely eat some of that. How many calories do you think are in that? It's got to be 5,000.
I mean, the loaf of bread, it's half a loaf of bread that you're starting out with, and then the filler is fettuccine alfredo and giant patties of fried cheese.
And then just more and more sauce and more cheese and more sauce. You need a knife and fork for that.
Yeah, this sandwich comes with a shower.
Yeah, and a bib. It looks tasty, though.
I'm just
All
glad
of
it's
that
so far
looked
away
good.
from me, so I can't get it. Oh, my goodness. All right. From the bowels of X, we bring you this, another example of how inflation is completely out of control. The poster says he took his kids to a Tigers game at Comerica Park in Detroit, spent $279 on sodas, hot dogs, a cotton candy, and if you look closely, 17 Coors Lights. At $12.99 a pop.
But it's a $279.66. I took my family to the ballpark. Cost me almost $300. Look at this: 3 Pepsis, 4 hot dogs,
and you're
1
reading along
cotton
with it.
candy.
You're like, oh, that is crazy. And then you're
17
like, because the Pepsis are $2 each, which is, too expensive for a kid's Pepsi, but still, it seems not that bad. Hot
good
dogs are
punchline.
$7 each. The cotton candy is $9. How could cotton candy be $9? That's spun sugar.
It is.
That's nuts. Coors, the Coors Lights are $12.99 a piece. Let's finish up with 2 truths and a lie.
You, sir, are a liar. Liar, liar, your pants are on fire!
Okay, so we'll call this the May the 4th edition. May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
Star Wars Day, all the Star Wars fans, this will be Star Wars themed. I'm going to say 2 things that are true and 1 which is not true. And you tell me which is the lie.
Okay.
Okay? Many of the asteroids that you see in the original Star Wars movies are just spray-painted potatoes.
Okay.
Luke, I am your father, is not in The Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi, or any of the other movies. In fact, it is one of the most misquoted movie lines of all time. And Chewbacca's original name was actually Jewbacca, named by and for the very hairy Jewish co-producer Adam Sipowicz, who invented the character. The name was changed for obvious reasons.
That's the lie. That's the lie. I'm done.
What?
That's the lie.
Andrew?
Yeah.
That's the lie.
I don't
That's
believe
the lie.
I don't believe Chewbacca.
He named it after himself.
I was thinking about the potatoes.
I knew the second one was true because we just watched Empire Strikes Back a few weeks ago, and
does he just say, "I am your
he says,
father"?
No, I am your father.
No, everybody gets that wrong. It's probably because of Tommy Boy too.
I was leaning toward potato, but Chewbacca got me.
Dang it! I hate when I do that. One of them's just too obvious. Yeah, you're right. All right, you guys both got it right. That was a lie. That's your more, everybody. Damn it.
What did you say? He was covered in body hair. Can I hear the description of Chewbacca again, please?
It was named for and by co-producer Adam Sipowicz, who had a lot of body hair and is Jewish.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's time for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Oh, the good one.
Throw it down, powered by Heartland Tire and Auto, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, we're down to the final 8 teams in the NBA playoffs. In the West, the Thunder play the Lakers, the Spurs play the Timberwolves. In the East, the Pistons play the Cavs, and the Knicks play the 76ers. Which series is most interesting to you?
It's Timberwolves Spurs, especially if Anthony Edwards can come back soon. And Wemby's just fascinating to watch. Not just with the inside-out scoring that he can do from anywhere, but he alters so much, not just shots, but shot approaches. Guys will approach the lane, see him and his 8-foot wingspan, and just decide to back the ball out or kick it out. I mean, he is a complete game changer. Too much flopping in the Thunder Lakers. Pistons Cavs don't care about much. Knicks Sixers would be a close second for me.
Yeah, I want to pick Knicks and Sixers. I mean, those are starving fan bases that really want a championship. But I got to agree with Murph. Yeah, I'm. To me, the Spurs are the most interesting team in the playoffs here, or maybe in the NBA period. Jeez. Yeah, you want to see Wemby play? I kind of like the fact that so many other fans of the rest of the league just are so angry that the Spurs keep getting these all-time big men. They just keep getting them.
They do. It's awful.
Robinson and Duncan and Wemby now. They're what? Not again now. And they all turn out too, right?
Yeah.
They all end up being really good.
All right, Andy, this was Dan Patrick's poll question today. Who gets the most credit for winning the Kentucky Derby? The horse, the jockey, the trainer, or the owner?
Well, I mean, in this case, after watching the race, I mean, clearly the horse had it in him, but he's, as we saw with Great White, if the horse doesn't want to run at all, there ain't a damn thing the jockey can do about it. He's just not going to run. So, the jockey does. I mean, that was a great path. You could kind of, as you're watching overhead, you can see sort of what's going on in the jockey's mind. At one point, he kind of wants to go left and thread the needle, but then he could see the gap kind of closing, so he decides to take the long way around to the right. And he just made all the right decisions there and knew exactly how much horse he had left. So I give it to the jockey here. It was a great ride.
I think it probably varies occasionally, like Secretariat. I mean, when you have a horse that great with that big a heart, and they eventually learned they didn't have to hold him back the way the trainer, strategized in this race, hold him back and then let him go down the backstretch, and that worked. I mean, they had that strategy going into it. Secretariat, they eventually learned just love to run and sprint. They could just let him sprint the entire race and he would just keep going. So I know all of these, with the exception of the owner, kind of factor into who's most responsible. But I'd say we had a pretty good demonstration there of the jockey most impacting that win as it's happening.
All right, Murph, check out this photo. Which is the perfect piece of toast?
Number 6.
Ooh, I'm gonna go number 9 here. Ooh. I want a little more scald on that.
Yeah, I'm an 8. I'm an 8 guy.
Yeah.
I could do a 9. 6 is too light.
It kind of depends. If you're making a sandwich, like a meatloaf sandwich, you want number 6. You don't want it to be too toasted. But if you're spreading, butter and jam on it, I want it like 9.
I'm sorry, I checked out a few minutes ago.
Throwdowns.
Speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy is a reminder to tell us what's bugging you. You could do it anytime, day or night. Boy, was it Drew that came in strong last week? Gosh, that was like a epic rant.
Great call.
Leave it anytime, and we'll get the best of those on Friday when we are live at Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines. You can interact on YouTube, on X/Twitter, or by email. It's Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. It is all powered by the Cellular Advantage, now able to help you with any and all of your T-Mobile and U.S. cellular needs. Had a question from Danny. Said he saw a Cellular Advantage store going up in Jordan Creek Town Center. Is that a new store or a relocated store? Do you know, Andy?
I think that sounds like a new store. I think Doug's been traveling though, so
all right, we got to get a count from Doug.
Right. Those stores are like rabbits. You take your eye off them, and then you got 5 more.
They'll multiply.
Popping up. Yep.
Time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the 80 squared.
Yeah, if you want to multiply like rabbits, get to Game Day Men's Health, Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to get your drive back, your energy back, sleep better, mood better.
Oh, yeah.
All of that better. Game Day Men's Health can help you with all that. And I heard Chris Williams is on the peptides now. So he's both Chris's are doing peptides, and you can do that with Game Day Men's Health.
Chris Hassel used that to help recover from his drunken shoulder injury.
Yeah, he's avoiding surgery with peptides.
Yeah,
we'll never get him back here again.
The Royals swept the Mariners over the weekend, guys. On Saturday night, closer Lucas Erceg was pumped up.
Sorry if I'm stuttering. My adrenaline is through the freaking roof right now, and I fucking love this shit.
Pardon me. Sorry about that, guys.
Now, I added the bleeps. They did make it to air, but my favorite part of this is the next day, Royals.tv on X posted this press release. We are aware of the use of colorful language at the end of last night's broadcast. We wanted to take this opportunity to assure fans, he kind of said it best. No notes.
Oh, wow. Okay, lean into it.
Yeah, lean into it. Go with it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, at some point, we're in this world now where if you're on one particular kind of platform, profanity's fine, and that's kind of the way many people talk. Some don't, but many use profanity. You hear it at office, you hear it at school, you hear it with your neighbors, and then suddenly you're in this world where it's not allowed at all because the FCC says you can't do it. But it like many things, it seems like we have a 50-year-old out-of-date system for some of this.
Well, because it was the one governing body that had to have a rule that fit everybody, right? I mean, they couldn't have little kids watching it and parents all upset about it. So it
used to umbrella over everything, and now it doesn't. But it is interesting the way it's evolved. Quickie poll results from WCI Pools and Spas on gambling.
Oops, that's not got it.
You're a reminder of the Top Gun double feature that's coming up.
Yeah.
Which
Get that in just a
more reps your view
Jeez.
on sports gambling? Wow, this is an even split. Tax on Stupidity says 51%. Wager Wisely says 49%.
It's about a split. We're still in that world where, for whatever reason, X and Twitter is not putting polls in front of people in the algorithm, but it has bounced back a little bit. We had a couple of days where no matter how much anybody voted, it still said 0 votes.
Yeah, right.
So we're still figuring that out. Yeah, the Top Gun Maverick doubleheader is coming up this weekend. And our thanks to Eric for making this poster. The scan code makes it easy. But
This
Top
will be,
Gun will be
next weekend.
yeah. Where
This,
are
this
we?
is like the 7th this weekend, right?
Oh, this is a
7th or
week
8th,
from
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, this is May
Okay,
16th.
yeah.
So it's
Thank you.
a week from Saturday.
Yes. Week from Saturday. Thank you for that. So, yes, it'll be a week from Saturday. So, we don't just have a couple of days left here. We have another 10 days to get your entries
more people
in.
to go.
Top Gun,
Yeah.
3:30. Maverick will be at 6:45. Please only enter if you're interested in going and think you could do it. We'll give you a few days' notice. So it won't be this Wednesday. It'll be a week from Wednesday. We'll announce the winners. So it got ahead of myself there. That's at the Palms Waukee, made possible. Go there, enter. They've given us so many tickets to share with our listeners and viewers that there's a pretty good chance you win if you enter. So go there and take care of that. Thanks for being part of Murph and Andy on a Monday. That was fun. More fun than I expected.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. And 2 truths, 1 lie. Make it easy to get the show by liking and subscribing. Thanks for all those who have liked the show and shared it with others. We appreciate it. We are back Wednesday. We hope you are too.